Joshua Patrick Allen is an American football quarterback for the Buffalo Bills of the National Football League. Allen played college football at Wyoming, where he was a bowl game MVP, and was selected 7th overall by the Bills in the 2018 NFL Draft. After inconsistent play during his first 2 years, Allen had a breakout season in 2020, when he led the Bills to their first division title and playoff victory since 1995, en route to an AFC Championship game appearance. He also set the Bills' franchise records for single-season passing yards and touchdowns, while earning Pro Bowl and second-team All-Pro honors. Allen brought the Bills to a consecutive division title the following year, the franchise's first since 1991, and became the first NFL quarterback to have a touchdown-scoring drive on every offensive possession of a game. Early years. Allen grew up on a 3,000-acre cotton farm near Firebaugh, California, a small town about 40 miles west of Fresno, California. His family has lived in the area since his great-grandfather, who emigrated from Sweden in 1907, settled there during the Great Depression. The farm where he was raised was established in 1975 by his paternal grandfather, who was also a longtime member of the local school board and namesake of the gymnasium of Firebaugh High School, from which Allen graduated in 2014. Growing up as a Fresno State fan who regularly attended both games and football camps, Allen tried to draw the interest of the program's coaching staff. His father tried to sell the Bulldogs' head coach at the time, Tim DeRuyter, on him, but DeRuyter chose not to offer a scholarship. DeRuyter was not alone in this assessment. Allen received no scholarship offers from any NCAA Division I program, whether in the top-level FBS or second-tier FCS. San Diego State made him an offer to walk on, but Allen turned it down because Aztecs coach Rocky Long couldn't guarantee any playing time. In a 2017 story on Allen, ESPN journalist Mark Schlabach speculated on why Allen got so little interest out of high school. At the time, Josh was about 6'3" and 180 pounds. He hadn't attended the elite quarterback camps and wasn't a widely known prospect. His high school team didn't participate in many 7-on-7 camps because Josh and many of his teammates were busy playing baseball and other sports. He was the leading scorer on his basketball team and also pitched on the baseball team, reaching 90 miles per hour with his fastball. Yahoo Sports writer Jeff Eisenberg added in another 2017 story, at a time when many scholarship-hungry families encourage their kids to specialize in one sport or to transfer to the school that will provide the most exposure, the Allens resisted both trends. They spurned overtures from more prominent Central Valley programs after Allen's breakout junior season and kept him at Firebaugh, living by the family mantra that you bloom where you are planted. Not only was Allen involved in multiple sports while in high school, he also regularly worked on the family farm and at the restaurant his mother operated in Firebaugh. Allen was a member of the National FFA organization through his local chapter at Firebaugh High School. Allen received numerous awards for his agricultural work and knowledge, including a rank in the top 4 in the nation in diversified crop production of cantaloupe, cotton, and wheat in 2014. College career. Reedley College. Allen attended Reedley College, a junior college where one of the football assistant coaches at the time was married to Allen's cousin. In his only season with Reedley College, Allen led an offense that averaged 452.2 yards of total offense per game to rank number 9 among all California junior college teams in total offense. Reedley averaged 285.3 passing yards per game to rank number 7 among all California junior colleges, scored 39.4 points per game to rank number 10 in the state, and averaged 166.9 yards rushing to rank 26th individually. Allen's 26 touchdown passes tied him for number 7 among all California junior college quarterbacks in 2014. He also ranked 20th among California JUCO quarterbacks in passing yards as a freshman, and ranked 42nd in the state in rushing, averaging 66.0 yards per game. Allen did not play in the team's first 3 games in 2014, but in the next game he ran for 4 touchdowns after coming off the bench, and soon became the team's starter, throwing for 25 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions for the rest of the season. By then, he had grown to 6 feet 5 inches and 210 pounds, and his coaches at Reedley thought that he would soon receive many FBS scholarship offers. This proved incorrect. Near the end of the season, Allen sent a mass email to every head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and quarterback coach in FBS, but received interest from only a small number of schools. Only Eastern Michigan and Wyoming offered him a scholarship, and Eastern Michigan withdrew its offer when Allen visited Wyoming late in the 2014-15 junior college signing period. Wyoming's coaches initially visited Reedley to scout another potential transfer, but former Fresno State assistant Dave Brown, who had since become part of the inaugural staff of new Wyoming Cowboys head coach Craig Bohl, was familiar with Allen, and urged offensive coordinator Brent Vigen to recruit him. While researching Allen, Vigen noticed a large number of parallels between Allen and a quarterback whom he had recruited in 2010 while serving in the same role at North Dakota State, Carson Wentz, who went on to become a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Wentz was similar in size to Allen, and also shared Allen's small-town, multi-sport, and late-blooming background. Bohl soon warmed to Allen as a prospect, especially after their initial quarterback prospect committed to Syracuse. Bohl was the only FBS head coach to visit the family farm, and while there, he told Allen's father, "We went all around the country and there's only one quarterback we want, and that's your son. He's going to be the face of our program." Despite receiving an offer from Wyoming, Allen made one final pitch to Fresno State's staff, sending a pointed email to an assistant referencing the fact that the team had received a commitment from a quarterback prospect who was both shorter and lighter than Allen was when Fresno State turned him down in high school. After being rebuffed, he committed to Wyoming, enrolling there prior to the 2015 season. University of Wyoming. In his first year at Wyoming, he played in 2 games and made 1 start. In his first career start he attempted only 4 passes before suffering a broken collarbone which ended his season. Because the injury occurred early in the season, he qualified for a medical redshirt. Allen returned from the injury in 2016 and was Wyoming's starter. After throwing for over 3,200 yards and 28 touchdowns in 2016, he contemplated declaring for the 2017 NFL Draft, initially telling his family, girlfriend, and a few friends that he would turn pro. Shortly before the deadline to declare for the draft, Vigen called Allen's father to explain why he should stay at Wyoming an extra year. According to Eisenberg, when Joel Allen got off the phone and entered his son's room, he found his son riddled with anxiety about his decision. Before the draft declaration deadline, Bohl told Allen that staying in school 1 more year would improve his long-term NFL prospects, and Allen also sought advice from Wentz, who told him that in the NFL, he would have many league veterans depending on him to win games and help secure their jobs. Allen ultimately remained at Wyoming. He threw for 1,812 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 2017. College statistics. Professional career. Shortly after the completion of the 2017 NFL Draft, ESPN reporter Adam Schefter said about Allen's NFL prospects, "There was one personnel director who told me this week that you can put in the books, Josh Allen will be the number 1 pick in the NFL Draft next year." In December 2017, after leading the 8-5 Cowboys to a 37-14 win over Central Michigan in the 2017 famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Allen announced he would be entering the 2018 NFL Draft. In his first mock draft in January 2018, ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper Jr. predicted that the Cleveland Browns would select Allen over other top quarterbacks in the 2018 draft, such as Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson. On the day of the draft, old Twitter posts of his in which Allen used racial and homophobic slurs when he was in high school, were brought up. He apologized, stating that he was young and dumb for making them. The Buffalo Bills drafted Allen as the 7th overall pick in the draft, trading up from 12th overall with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make the selection. On July 25, he signed a 4-year, fully guaranteed $21 million contract with the Bills. 2018 season. Allen competed for the starting quarterback position with A.J. McCarron and Nathan Peterman through the off-season and training camp. Despite a quality preseason, Allen started the season as the backup to Peterman after McCarron was traded to the Oakland Raiders. On September 9, 2018, Allen made his first regular season appearance against the Baltimore Ravens after Peterman was benched after posting a 0.0 passer rating. Allen finished with 74 passing yards and 26 rushing yards as the Bills lost 47-3. On September 12, the Bills announced that Allen would start the following week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Allen finished with 245 passing yards, his first NFL passing touchdown, which went to Kelvin Benjamin, and 2 interceptions as the Bills lost 20-31. He also rushed for 32 yards. Allen's 57-yard completion to Zay Jones, which traveled 64 yards, tied for the second longest air distance ever recorded by NFL Next Gen Stats for a completed pass. During a Week 3 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, Allen led the Bills to their first victory of the season with a dominant first-half performance. Allen passed for 196 yards and a touchdown, adding 39 yards on the ground with 2 rushing touchdowns in a 27-6 victory. In particular, he hurdled over Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr on one of his scrambles to pick up a first down, a play that went viral on social media. During Week 5 against the Tennessee Titans, Allen completed 10 of 19 passes for 82 passing yards and an interception in the 13-12 win, adding another rushing touchdown. The following week, in a 2013 loss to the Houston Texans, Allen suffered an elbow injury and did not return. He finished the game completing 10 of 17 passes for 84 passing yards and 20 rushing yards. He was expected to miss at least 2 games with the injury. Allen returned after missing 4 games, getting the start against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which was noteworthy as Jaguars cornerback Jalen Ramsey had called Allen trash prior to the season. In a back-and-forth game that saw the Bills win 24-21 over the Jaguars, Allen completed 8 of 19 passes for 160 yards and a touchdown, adding 99 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown on 13 rushes. The 99 rushing yards broke the Bills' franchise record for rushing yards in a game by a quarterback, previously held by Tyrod Taylor. Despite a 21-17 loss to the Dolphins the following week, Allen threw for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns and added 135 yards on the ground. During a game against the New York Jets and fellow rookie quarterback Sam Darnold in Week 14, Allen finished with 206 passing yards and 2 interceptions, adding a rushing touchdown on 101 rushing yards as the Bills lost a close game 23-27. Allen became the first quarterback in NFL history with at least 95 yards rushing in a 3-week span, accumulating 335 yards. After a 24-12 loss to the New England Patriots in Week 16, Allen rebounded in the rematch against the Dolphins in Week 17. Despite throwing his first career pick-six, he scored 5 total touchdowns, 3 passing and 2 rushing, along with 224 passing yards and 95 rushing yards as the Bills routed the Dolphins 42-17. The performance earned him recognition as the AFC's Offensive Player of the Week. The Bills finished 6-10 on the season, 5-6 with Allen as the starting quarterback. He became the first quarterback in Bills history to lead the team in both passing and rushing in a season. He led all quarterbacks with 8 rushing touchdowns on the season, but also had the lowest completion percentage at 52.8. 2019 season. Allen entered 2019 as the Bills' opening day starter, being named a team captain. On September 8, 2019, Allen led the Bills to a comeback win over the New York Jets in Week 1. Despite the Bills being down 16-0 at one point in the third quarter, Allen led the team to 17 unanswered points. He finished the game with 254 passing yards on 24 completions, both career highs. He also had 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, and 2 interceptions. After leading Buffalo to its first 3-0 start since 2011, Allen struggled against a stout New England Patriots defense, throwing 3 interceptions, but became the first player to score an offensive touchdown on the Patriots in the 2019 season. He completed 13 of 28 passes for 153 yards, and also rushed for 26 yards and the aforementioned touchdown before suffering a helmet-to-helmet hit from Patriots cornerback Jonathan Jones, which forced him out of the eventual 16-10 Bills loss. Despite being placed in the concussion protocol, Allen returned the following week against the Tennessee Titans, completing 23 of 32 pass attempts for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in a 14-7 Bills win. In Week 10 against the Cleveland Browns, Allen completed 22 of 41 passes for 266 yards and ran for 28 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the Bills lost 19-16 because of 2 missed field goal attempts. The following week against the Miami Dolphins, he passed for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns, matching a career high, and rushed for 56 yards and a touchdown as the Bills won 37-20. He was named AFC Offensive Player of the Week for his performance in Week 11. Against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving in Week 13, Allen completed 19 of 24 passes for 231 yards and a touchdown with a passer rating of 120.7, also rushing for 43 yards and a touchdown in a 26-15 Bills win. In Week 15 against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football, Allen threw for 139 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception and rushed for 28 yards and a touchdown during the 17-10 win. As a result of the win, the Bills clinched a spot in the playoffs. In the rematch against the Patriots in Week 16, Allen passed for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 53-yarder to John Brown, but Buffalo fell short once again, losing 24-17 to surrender the division title to New England. With playoff seeding locked up, Allen had a limited role in the regular season finale loss to the New York Jets. He finished the 2019 season with 3,089 passing yards, 20 passing touchdowns, and 9 interceptions to go along with 109 carries for 510 rushing yards and 9 rushing touchdowns, while also leading the league with 4 fourth-quarter comebacks and 5 game-winning drives. However, he also posted the league's lowest completion percentage for a second consecutive year at 58.8. 2019-20 postseason. 2020 season. In August 2020, Allen was reportedly among a group of 77 NFL players that tested positive for COVID-19. However, all 77 results were later revealed to have been false positives due to mishandling by the laboratory that performed the testing. Allen remarked that he was frustrated by the error. Allen started the season strong, attaining his first 3 games with over 300 yards passing in his professional career with wins over the New York Jets, Miami Dolphins, and Los Angeles Rams, with a high of 415 yards against Miami in a last-minute comeback win over Los Angeles. He became the first Bills quarterback to throw for 300 yards since Tyrod Taylor recorded 329 yards in Week 16 of the 2016 season, and also became the first Bills quarterback to pass for 300 yards in back-to-back games since Drew Bledsoe in 2002. Through the first 2 weeks, Allen joined Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes as the only 4 quarterbacks in NFL history with at least 700 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, and no interceptions through the first 2 weeks of a season. After Week 3, he became the first quarterback in Bills history with at least 300 pass yards and 3 touchdowns in 3 consecutive weeks and surpassed Jim Kelly's franchise record for most passing touchdowns in the team's first 3 games with 10. On October 1, 2020, Allen was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Month for his performance in September. In Week 4, Allen won against the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 30-23, throwing for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns, with another rushing touchdown. He led the Bills to their first 4-0 record since 2008. The following week, Allen and the Bills played the Tennessee Titans on Tuesday, October 13, with the game having been delayed due to a COVID-19 outbreak in the Titans organization. This was just the second Tuesday night football game in 70 years. The Bills lost 42-16. Allen finished the game with 26 completions on 41 attempts, passing for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. In Week 8, Allen led the Bills to a 24-21 victory over the New England Patriots, Buffalo's first home win against the Patriots since 2011 and Allen's first career win against the Patriots. The following week, he would become the first quarterback in the Super Bowl era with at least 400 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a passer rating of 130 in multiple games in a single season during Buffalo's 44-34 upset victory over the heavily favored Seattle Seahawks. Allen completed 31 of 38 passes for 415 yards and 3 passing touchdowns, adding 14 yards and another touchdown on the ground. The Bills improved to 7-2 on the year for the first time since 1993. After the game, it was revealed by Bills head coach Sean McDermott that Allen had played one day after the death of his grandmother. In Week 10, the Bills traveled west to play the Arizona Cardinals. In a shootout match, Allen completed 32 of 49 passes for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He also rushed for 38 yards on 7 carries and caught a 12-yard touchdown pass from Isaiah McKenzie on a trick play. Allen's second touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs put the Bills up 30-26 with only 34 seconds left in the game, but the Bills lost after Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray completed a Hail Mary pass to DeAndre Hopkins with just 2 seconds left. After the bye week, Allen had a quiet but effective game during a 27-17 Week 12 win over the Los Angeles Chargers, completing 18 of 24 passes for 157 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, in addition to 32 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 fumble. Allen had another strong game the following week on Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers, completing 32 of 40 attempts for 375 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns in the 34-24 victory, also becoming the first quarterback in Buffalo's history to attempt 40 or more passes in a single game while completing at least 80% of his passes, and joined Drew Brees as the only 2 quarterbacks in league history to have 3 games of 375 passing yards, 3+ passing touchdowns and a 130+. Passer rating in a single season. Allen broke Jim Kelly's franchise record for the most total touchdowns by a single player during a Week 14 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football after passing for 2 touchdowns during the game. He finished the game with 238 yards, the 2 touchdowns, and an interception. The following week against the Denver Broncos, Allen helped the Bills clinch their first AFC East Division title since 1995, 6 months before he was born. He finished the game with 359 yards passing and 2 passing touchdowns, in addition to 33 yards rushing and 2 scores on the ground, during the 48-19 Bills win. During a Week 16 rematch with the Patriots on Monday Night Football, Allen completed 27 of 36 attempts for 320 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, surpassing Kelly's franchise record for single-season passing touchdowns. By helping Buffalo win 38-9, Allen also allowed the Bills to sweep the Patriots for the first time since 1999. Allen was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Month for his performance in December. Overall, Allen finished the 2020 season with 4,544 passing yards, 37 passing touchdowns, and 10 interceptions to go along with 102 carries for 421 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. He also significantly improved his completion percentage from being the lowest in his previous seasons to 4th overall at 69.2. Throughout the season, Allen was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week 4 times, namely for his performance in Week 2 against Miami, Week 9 against Seattle, Week 13 against San Francisco, and Week 15 against Denver. He became the first player in franchise history to win the award at least 3 times in a single season. On December 21, 2020, Allen and 4 of his teammates were named to the 2021 Pro Bowl, which took place virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He ultimately finished in second place for MVP voting, receiving 4 votes, which was ahead of Mahomes but behind winner Aaron Rodgers. 2020-21 postseason. 2021 season. In May 2021, the Bills exercised the 5th-year option on Allen's rookie contract, tying him to the team through the 2022 season. On August 6, 2021, Allen signed a 6-year contract extension worth up to $258 million with $150 million guaranteed. Allen surpassed 10,000 career passing yards during a 35-0 shutout win against the Miami Dolphins in Week 2. In Week 3, Allen and the Bills defeated the Washington football team 43-21, as Allen passed for 358 yards and scored 5 touchdowns. He became just the 4th player in NFL history to record multiple career games with at least 300 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. He also tied Jack Kemp's franchise record for most career rushing touchdowns by a quarterback with 26. The Bills faced the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium for a rematch of the previous year's AFC Championship game in Week 5. During the Bills' 38-20 win, Allen completed 15 of 26 passes for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns, amassing 21 yards per completion, a career high and the highest by any NFL quarterback in the prior 2 seasons. He also rushed for 59 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries, including another hurdle over a defender to pick up a first down in the 4th quarter. The following week, the Bills faced the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football. Despite a strong performance, Allen was stopped short by the Titans' defensive line during a quarterback sneak on a critical 4th and 1 situation on the Titans' 3-yard line in the final moments of the game, allowing Tennessee to win 34-31. His final stat line for the game was 353 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception along with 26 rushing yards. Allen's 3 touchdowns allowed him to pass Jim Kelly for the most touchdowns thrown by a Bills quarterback in his first 4 seasons with the team. In a Week 8 rematch against Miami, Allen and the Bills' offense started slow, but he accounted for 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in the second half of a 26-11 win. The rushing touchdown gave Allen 28 for his career, tying Cam Newton's record for the most rushing touchdowns in a quarterback's first 50 starts. In a 6-9 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars the following week, Allen was held without a touchdown for the first time in the season, in addition to being sacked and intercepted by Jaguars defensive end Josh Allen. Both the sack and interception were the first to be performed by an NFL defensive player on an opposing quarterback of the same name. After several up-and-down performances, including a Monday Night Bills loss to the New England Patriots in Week 13 where the passing game was limited by high-velocity winds, Allen helped the team overcome a 24-3 halftime deficit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 14, rallying Buffalo to 24 second-half points to force overtime. They would go on to lose 33-27, however. Despite the loss, Allen became just the 4th player in NFL history with over 300 passing yards and 100 rushing yards in a game. During a Week 16 rematch with the Patriots, Allen passed for 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, and ran for 65 yards as the Bills won 33-21. He also surpassed 4,000 passing yards on the season, becoming the first Bills quarterback with multiple 4,000-yard passing seasons. Against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 17, Allen threw for a career-high 3 interceptions and had a career-low passer rating of 17, but rushed for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground as Buffalo relied on its running game to win 29-15 and clinched its 4th playoff berth in 5 seasons. The 2 rushing touchdowns gave Allen 6 on the year, making him the first quarterback in NFL history to rush for at least 6 touchdowns in his first 4 seasons. Allen and the Bills finished the regular season with a 27-10 victory over the New York Jets, securing the AFC East Division title for a second consecutive season. He finished the game with 239 passing yards, 63 rushing yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. Allen finished the regular season with a career-high 409 pass completions, completing 63.3% of his passes for 4,407 passing yards, 36 passing touchdowns and a 92.2 passer rating. He also had 763 rushing yards and another 6 touchdowns on the ground, leading the league in yards per carry at 6.3. For his play, he was named a Pro Bowl alternate, losing out to Lamar Jackson for the final quarterback spot on the initial Pro Bowl roster, much to the chagrin of fans and analysts. When offered Jackson's spot after he pulled out, Allen declined the invitation. 2021-22 postseason. 2022 season. Against the Los Angeles Rams in the NFL kickoff game, Allen completed 26 of 31 passes for 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and rushed for 56 yards and a rushing touchdown in the 31-10 win. During Monday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans in Week 2, Allen completed 26 of 38 passes for 317 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He also rushed for 10 yards in the 41-7 win. During Week 3 against the Miami Dolphins, Allen finished with 400 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 fumbles. A game-winning drive came offline and the Bills lost 19-21. After opening up to a 23 deficit against the Baltimore Ravens in Week 4, the Bills rallied to come back and win the game 23-20 after their defense held the Ravens scoreless in the second half and Tyler Bass kicked a walk-off field goal. Allen passed for 213 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception, and 70 rushing yards with 1 rushing touchdown on 11 carries. In Week 5, Allen passed for 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception in the 38-3 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first of Allen's touchdowns was a 98-yard pass to Gabriel Davis toward the beginning of the game. The play tied the record for longest pass play in franchise history. In a rematch of the previous season's divisional round game, Allen had 329 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in the 24-20 come-from-behind victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. NFL career statistics. Regular season. Postseason. Records and achievements. NFL records. First quarterback to rush for at least 95 yards in 3 consecutive games. First quarterback with 10 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns through 3 weeks. First quarterback with 375-plus pass yards, 3-plus pass touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 130 and QB rating in multiple games in a single season. Most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback, first 50 starts, 28. First quarterback in history with at least 100 touchdown passes and 30 rushing touchdowns in first 4 seasons. First quarterback to have 300 passing yards, 60 rushing yards, and 5 touchdowns passes in a playoff game. Highest passer rating in a single postseason, 149.0. First quarterback in history to have at least 30 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns and 1 touchdown reception in a season. First quarterback in history to score on every offensive possession in this same game. No punts, no turnovers and no field goals occurred for the Bills, which also has never happened in the NFL regular season or playoffs. Bills franchise records. Most rushing yards by a quarterback in a single game, 135. Longest touchdown pass by a rookie quarterback, 75 yards. Most rushing yards by a quarterback in a single season, 763. Most total touchdowns by a rookie, 18. Most consecutive games by a quarterback scoring at least 1 touchdown, 21. Most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a single season, 9. Most rushing yards by a quarterback in a single game, postseason, 92. Most consecutive games with over 300 passing yards, 3. Most games with 300 passing yards and 4 TDS, single season, 4. Most total touchdowns in a season, 46. Most passing touchdowns, single season, 37. Most passing yards, single season, 4,544. First Bills quarterback with multiple 4,000 passing yard seasons. Most rushing yards by a Bills quarterback, career, 2,325. Most rushing touchdowns by a Bills quarterback, career, 31. Most touchdowns thrown in a single playoff game by a Bills quarterback, 5. Longest touchdown pass by a Bills player, 98 yards. Accolades. 9 times AFC Offensive Player of the Week. 87th ranked player on NFL Top 100. 2 times AFC Offensive Player of the Month. Pro Bowl. PFWA Most Improved Player. 10th ranked player on NFL Top 100. 13th ranked player on NFL Top 100. FedEx Air Player of the Week. Player Profile. Allen has received praise for his unique combination of size, arm strength, athleticism, mental toughness, and leadership skills, drawing comparisons to John Elway, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger, and Cam Newton. He was highly sought after in the NFL draft for his raw potential despite criticism of his consistency and accuracy coming out of college. When you look at the metrics for Josh Allen, he has arguably the strongest arm ever in the history of the NFL. He is a physical specimen unlike anything the NFL has ever seen. Allen appeared on an episode of Sports Science prior to the 2018 NFL Draft. As part of the show, Allen was equipped with sensors on his body to record his movements. In a load-to-arrival test, which measures the load time and velocity from hand separation to arrival, Allen's throwing motion takes an average of 0.38 seconds. This timing is on par with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Allen's fingertip speed, which indicates ball speed, averages 74.3 miles per hour. This is the fastest launch velocity Sports Science ever recorded on their show. In the movement pass test, which measures an ability to throw on the run, Allen's release speed was 58 miles per hour. Despite criticism of his accuracy, when given one chance to hit a soccer goal crossbar from 35 yards away, Allen hit the crossbar. Allen was the only 2018 quarterback prospect tested that hit the crossbar. Brancusi later stated in an interview that Allen's college completion percentage was a misleading statistic, citing Brett Favre's 52% completion percentage in college as an example. "I think he's the most physically talented player to play the position, ever." Allen is a self-identified gunslinger, attempting and completing difficult passes but sometimes taking unnecessary risks. However, his work ethic and training under former offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, current offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, and throwing coach Jordan Palmer have been cited as instrumental in his development into a more accurate and methodical passer. His scrambling and rushing abilities have also been cited as key strengths, especially given his large size, which makes it difficult for defenders to tackle him. Despite a poor offensive line in his rookie year, Allen was able to elude and break tackles to keep plays alive or gain significant yardage on the ground, keeping an otherwise ineffective Buffalo offense moving. He has also been noted for his ability to leap over defenders, often in dramatic fashion, to keep offensive drives alive. Personal life. Allen is in a relationship with former Fresno State Bulldogs cheerleader and current Pilates instructor Brittany Williams, with whom he grew up in Central California. They first met at 8 years old before later reconnecting in high school. They have been in a relationship since 2015. In December 2017, Allen graduated from the University of Wyoming with a bachelor's degree in social science. Allen is friends with Carolina Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold and Houston Texans quarterback Kyle Allen. The trio often trains and vacations together in the off-season. He is a fan of adult standards and oldies music, which he says keeps him calm before games. His pre-game playlist includes entries by Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Elvis Presley, Paul Anka, and Billy Joel. Golf. Allen is an avid golfer, which he says is one of his favorite activities. He declined an invitation to the 2022 Pro Bowl as an alternate to play in the 2022 AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, finishing 55th out of a field of 156 pairs in a pairing with Keith Mitchell. Allen participated in the 6th edition of the match as part of a tandem with Patrick Mahomes, against Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, on June 1, 2022. They lost on a match-winning putt by Rodgers. Allen's home in Buffalo, New York has a par3 course, a separate green with 6 holes, 3 different tee boxes, and a full swing simulator. His handicap as of 2022 is 8, and his all-time best score is 77.